come out so you can hear me. I know the music's probably loud. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna turn this chicken. I'm gonna turn this chicken while I'm talking. You think it's gonna be able to hear me? You got me? So, the interesting thing about Cinco de Mayo, which, you know, happy Cinco de Mayo to people. This is the thing. A lot of people celebrate Cinco de Mayo and they don't really get what it is. People think it's like the Mexican Independence Day, but it's not. Oh, let me get this chicken. So, it's actually not Mexican Independence Day. Cinco de Mayo was when the Mexicans actually fought off the French Empire, like Napoleon III. You know what I'm saying? So the interesting thing about that, the French were being a debt collector for the Europeans. So Mexico owed Europe a bunch of money. So Europe was trying to collect on their debt, and they had a relationship with the French. So, and this is like 1870, the actual war ended 1861, 1862 in this area. So in America, black people was just about to no longer be slaves because the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863 by Abraham Lincoln. So, of course, slavery didn't really end in 1863 technically, because the ratification of the 13th Amendment actually ended slavery, and that was in 1865. But still, in 1865, when, you know, black people were, you know, supposedly free at this point, this is 4 years after Cinco de Mayo, 1861. So why is it interesting, or why does it even matter to black people? Well, slavery was still an institution in 1861 when the war was going on with the Mexicans and the French. The French were actually making an attempt to come up through Mexico. Now, of course, if they went through Mexico, and this is Europe, Britain, who the United States just fought off in 1776 for the American Independence Day, 4th of July, 1776. Of course, this same British European group, you can expect to just go on right on up through Mexico and then fight America, fight the United States. So that was really interesting, and the strategy is interesting too, the North and the South split. Of course, the South, that's where slavery was huge. The vast majority of the Southern economy was slavery. It was cotton, you know, and, you know, of course, the slaves did all the agricultural work with the cotton and the industry at that time. So up north, the economy was based on industry. You had your buildings and things of that nature. Your factories, I should say, your buildings everywhere. But your factories, your manufacturing, and interestingly, like, the South really didn't even have a strong army. That's one reason the North beat the South, because while the North was manufacturing things such as, of course, weapons would be an advantage, the South was like strictly on slavery. It was like, we slaving down here. We got all of this land, we got all these black people, we got all these Africans, we just gonna slave, slave, slave. So that was the whole economy down here. That's why, you know, here being, of course, being Memphis, and Memphis is known for barbecue, these ribs coming along. These are actually lemon pepper ribs. I know a lot of people, you know, they like their lemon pepper wings. The wings are lemon pepper. I got some legs. I lemon peppered those too, and went ahead and marinated them in some Italian dressing. So they're gonna be real good. But lemon pepper ribs though, that's gonna be tight. That's gonna be real tight. So I'm just gonna rotate a little of this down a little bit, because we really smoking. You know, it's smoked, you know, more so than anything else. We're not gonna really rush them, but I do wanna make sure that they getting some heat. And I'm gonna move these ribs. They look like they come along. Yeah, I'm gonna put them over this direct heat just a little more closely on this side, because this is where my fire is. I went ahead and moved that whole fire over. But anyway, so, yeah, black people were slaves 1861 while this war is going on. If by chance the French had beat Mexico. The French, again, backed by Europe. Now you think about it, Europe was actually all for slavery because Europe is the group that enslaved the Africans from the beginning. So you got the Europeans that come and enslave Africans, they institute slavery, and then you actually have some Americans in the North who say, you know what, we got to stop this whole slavery thing. The South wants to keep it. So it begs to think that if Europe and France could have came on up through Mexico, that they would have reinforced the South and overcame the North, and slavery could have kept going. Because again, that was the issue between the South and the North in America, was slavery. So if you get the Europeans to come right back down through Mexico and come right back up and join with the South, the Army of the North could have possibly been defeated, which would have meant no Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, no ratification of the 13th Amendment in 1865, and slavery could have gone on a much, much longer time. So it's slick, a black holiday, or not even if you don't say a black holiday. I understand why people who really know the history can celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Get back to my Sunday, and if you celebrate Cinco de Mayo, enjoy it.